Marvel stuff. Breaking Andrew Garfield, SpiderMan, and Avengers. Let's see what everything always has to say about this and check this out.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Bremen, aka All Fires. You know, I've said it at least once in the last month. We're into our second month of an actor strike. The writer strike's been going much longer than that, and yet still these industry insiders are coming up with updates, especially those that pertain to cameos and castings, which again is amazing to me. But at least one of them, and Daniel RPK, admitted that he stockpiled a bunch of scoops before the actors strike went down. And while we're all certainly thankful for that, it was his scoop last week that Marvel Studios, or more specifically Kevin Feige, had talked to Hugh Jackman about a major role in Secret Wars that kicked off a ton of rumors for that film. And while I think it's been very clear since the beginning, Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios' plan for Secret Wars, we'll talk about that during this video. We have to talk about the latest and breaking rumor from a trusted industry insider source that says now Andrew Garfield has also been contacted by Marvel in regards to Secret Wars and what some other sources had to say about it as well. We're going to cover both sides of the latest rumor, Andrew Garfield returning for Secret Wars, and where I think the truth actually lies. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews, to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner to coincide with Loki. Again, all you gotta do, be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video if you want, stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so like I said, it was Daniel Brickman saying that Marvel Studios had talked to Hugh Jackman. That broke only days before Can We Get Some Toast. We've covered them 2 or 3 days in a row now. They are a major part of the rumor mill and Scoopster cycle. You can follow them over on Twitter. And as I've said, I think in the last 3 videos consecutively, these Twitter scoopsters are only anonymous in the sense that we don't know who they actually are, but they have quite the proven track record, especially the ones we cover here at the channel. So take it with a grain of salt or take it however you want. They were saying that Andrew Garfield had been reached out specifically by Kevin Feige, much in the way Hugh Jackman had, to take a role in Secret Wars. Now, it is important to note, this isn't the first time we've heard this, and in fact, months and months ago, my buddy Paul over at Heavy Spoilers actually dropped in a video that he had heard the same thing, that indeed with the success of his role during Spider-Man No Way Home, and of course alongside Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield was on a short list of actors and characters that Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios wanted to bring back for Secret Wars. However, a different YouTuber, not one we talk about too often here at this channel, came out with a competing exclusive just days later in response. John Campea, some of you may remember, he was the guy who got a hold of a photo of all 3 Spider-Men with their masks off before Spider-Man No Way Home came out, put his watermark on it, and although he faced backlash for that, it was after the HD 4K video of Andrew was already out there anyway, and I would argue it's those type of leaks that made that movie as big as it was, that drove the hype. We already knew he was in it, so I'm not sure why people backlashed against that, and I don't bring that up for any other reason than to say the man definitely has sources in the industry. Those photos are proof, and this is what he heard. Someone, one of his sources, texted him this scoop and it said that he could confirm that it was false. He then went on to specify that different scoopsters can have different information. He's not calling anybody a liar. This is just what his sources have heard. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I sort of have to agree. Secret Wars is still a long way off, and even if some of this stuff did happen, like them talking to Hugh Jackman before the strikes went down, you have to imagine Kevin Feige's approach to this is he'd like to involve as many characters as possible, as long as there's a story on ramp. And where there could have been one for Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire, had they stayed in the 616, they wrapped that story up, seemingly until we hear anything different or it gets retconned, return them to their dimensions. Hugh Jackman is going to have a role in the MCU in Deadpool 3, in Phase 5, by the time it actually comes out, it might be Phase 6 at this point, leading into the Multiverse Saga, leading into Secret Wars. So Kevin Feige talking to him about sticking around, not surprising at all. Kevin Feige reaching out to Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire this early in the game, and without it being immediately apparent how they would have any more on-ramp for a story back into the films, just seems a little far-fetched, just not only because it's early, but because I don't know that there's too much of a clear picture for how those characters would show back up. Now, for devil's advocacy's sake, and as I mentioned during the prologue, I think it's been pretty clear what their take is and how they want to do Secret Wars since the beginning, and that is I think Kevin Feige would like to have as many of these characters back as possible for a final battle as a way to up the ante from Avengers Endgame, but because when the Multiverse Saga is done, it's done. Every superhero studio has been doing the multiverse now for over a half decade. By the time we get to Secret Wars, it will be a decade. Sony's doing it, they're doing it in their animated universe. Apparently doing it in the live-action Spider universe. DC has been doing it. They just did it again in The Flash. Depending on when Spider-Verse 3 comes out, Marvel may be the last to wrap this all up with Secret Wars. If there was ever a time for any of these characters or actors to come back and show up, now is the time. Because going forward into the next saga, which we expect will be the Mutant Saga, that's how they're going to keep everything Earth-centric. I know X-Men stories were involved in space as well. I get it. But instead of making it multi-variants and forever in the MCU, this is it. So I'm not going to be surprised for any cameo rumors or confirmations we hear at all. We'll continue to keep up with them at the channel. I just think at some rate it's a little early to start thinking about cameos or Secret Wars unless they have an idea of what they're doing with the story. I think the story itself, not just because of how few films they have left, but which characters those films are going to feature, limit which characters can even show up during Secret Wars and make sense. And even if they do look past that and do bring everybody back at the last moment with very little explainer, there is one other constraint for just how many actors and or characters you can have in this movie. And that's the constraint of money. They can't pay all of these actors $10 million a piece and then have every single actor come back. And I know you're saying, whoa. They're just going to show up for a portal scene. But that's kind of my point, right? If they're in the film, and for some of these bigger actors, the bigger named actor, the bigger the character, the more we want them back. How many Hugh Jackmans, Andrew Garfields, other characters from the MCU, how many of these huge names can you pay super big bucks for them only to have a quick cameo at the end of the film? And there is a huge disparity in what people get paid. For instance, Willem Dafoe to play Green Goblin in Spider-Man No Way Home got paid reportedly $480,000, while say someone like Christian Bale got paid $10 million to play Gore the Garbage. Yet they were both the villains in their respective films, and one made about 20 times the other. Speaking of the number 20, Chris Hemsworth for Thor: Love and Thunder actually made $20 million. And again, Thor 4 was his movie. He was the titular character. Secret Wars will involve a lot of characters, but how quick do you think Chris Hemsworth wants to come back and do another Avengers movie if his pay isn't going to be somewhat commensurate? Then multiply that times the number of legacy characters from the Infinity Saga, especially considering a lot of those actors' agents are going to be trying to negotiate deals calling this the biggest movie of all time. If you want our actor, you have to pay him correctly. Some of them may be willing to take breaks or make deals. But again, the bigger the name, the more money they're going to ask for. And when it comes to Avengers Secret Wars, we seem to want them all, the small names and the big names, as many as they can fit in. So over the next couple of years, as we start to hear more and more, and as we're approaching Secret Wars and hearing about who's going to come back and how many cameos and superheroes we get, please try to remember that not only do they have to serve all of the arcs for the current characters in the MCU, you cannot spend $200 million on a cast for Avengers Secret Wars. Or maybe you can if you're Marvel and you think the movie's going to make $3 billion. But with the way things have been going and the way they're downsizing for Marvel, it just seems like something has got to give here. And I will be more shocked if every single actor comes back than if characters like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man don't make the cut. Tobey Maguire, perhaps. But even if he doesn't show up in the film, I would not be surprised. They've got to focus on so many characters. Hey, but hopefully I'm wrong. I want everybody to show up. I've been saying since day one, the more the merrier. That's how you outdo Avengers Endgame. You get everybody fighting from all the cinematic universes side by side. And when I said again during the prologue, I thought it was pretty clear how they want to do this. Having everybody back for that film is probably it. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but that's probably what they want to do. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. And if you could only have 3 of the returning characters from the Fox X-Men, from the Sony Spider-Man, who are your top 3? Mine happens to be Hugh Jackman, so I'm thrilled about the news that he may be a part of it. I think it's a no-brainer to keep him a part of it, but who else you got? I'm all ears. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s here at the channel. The next one's right around the corner, and then we'll switch over to the PlayStation 5 Pro next year. And in fact, if some of the rumors are true about getting What If this year, we're still giving away 4 PlayStations before the year's up. So if you want to be entered to win, super simple, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at @I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name All Fires. And for those of you who have already checked out my music, supported my band, I cannot thank you enough. I know some of you have been asking about a tour. That's going down next year. More to say on that later. In the meantime, thanks for checking out the channel, guys. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.
Subscribe, like this video. Have a great day, and see you guys. Bye.